You ever wonder if your bank is actually listening? Well, thanks to this incredible AI tool called sentiment analysis, they're not just listening anymore, they're starting to understand. Today, we're going to dive into how this tech is completely changing the game for finance, turning millions of customer opinions into clear, actionable insights. So let's get right into it.
Just think about it for a second. What if your bank didn't have to guess how you felt about their new mobile app? Or how investors were reacting to some breaking news? What if they could just, know instantly?
Well, turns out this isn't science fiction anymore. It's happening right now. Banks are using some seriously powerful AI to analyze millions of comments, reviews, and news articles. They're essentially taking the pulse of our collective feelings about, well, everything. Their products, the market, you name it. So you might be asking, why is this so critical right now? Well, it all starts with a problem that pretty much every modern bank is facing. They are absolutely drowning in a sea of feedback. And this data, it comes from absolutely everything. You've got the internal stuff, right? Call logs, app reviews, complaint forms. But then you've got the entire internet, social media, news sites, forums. It's just this chaotic, massive stream of human opinion. And for a long, long time, it was mostly just noise. But now, AI is giving us a way to translate all of that noise into a really clear signal. And this is where sentiment analysis steps in, turning all that raw text into genuine understanding.
So what exactly is sentiment analysis? At its core, it uses a branch of AI called natural language processing, or NLP for short, to read a piece of text and figure out the emotion behind it. Is the writer happy? Are they frustrated? Or just kind of neutral? It's all about turning feelings into hard data.
Okay, let's follow the journey of just one single comment. Let's say a tweet about a new credit card. First, it gets collected along with millions of others. Then, the AI processes it, categorizes the sentiment, positive, negative, whatever, and ultimately, that one little opinion gets turned into valuable business intelligence.
But wait, before an AI can even analyze a comment, there's some really critical prep work that has to happen. The raw text has to be cleaned up and standardized. This means getting rid of duplicates, fixing typos, stripping out common words like the or and that don't really add any meaning. It's all about turning messy, human language into a clean, structured format that an AI can actually understand.
Now, banks use a few different kinds of AI brains for this job. You've got your simple rule-based systems that just look for keywords like love or hate. Then you have traditional machine learning models that are a bit smarter. They find statistical patterns. And at the very top, you've got deep learning models. These are the geniuses that can actually understand context, nuance, and, even sarcasm.
Okay, so that's the tech. Pretty cool. But what does it all mean for the bottom line? Let's take a look at how these insights actually lead to real, tangible outcomes for these banks.
And this is where it gets incredibly powerful. Banks can use this to track the public's reaction to a new product launch in real time. They can sift through thousands of call center transcripts to pinpoint exactly what's making customers angry. They can even monitor news sentiment to get ahead of investment risks before they blow up into major problems. See, the end goal here is to take all of that super complex analysis and boil it down into something simple, something clear, like a dashboard. It's about turning all that messy, emotional human feedback into a clean chart that an executive can look at and act on in, 5 seconds.
And the results, they are staggering. By analyzing what customers are saying in their own words, not just clicking boxes in a survey, banks have seen up to an 87% improvement in accurately understanding what people actually need. That is the difference between guessing and knowing.
And of course, this newfound accuracy leads to huge efficiency gains. By automating feedback analysis and quickly finding the root cause of complaints, instead of having teams of people manually read through them, some banks have cut their customer service costs by as much as 65%. But this right here is the number that makes everyone sit up and pay attention, the return on investment. On average, for every single dollar banks put into this technology, they're getting back 3.5. That's a massive ROI. It proves this isn't just some fancy tech trend, it's a fundamental tool for doing business today.
As Professor Khairul Rijal Jamaluddin puts it, this really isn't optional anymore. In today's market, if you can understand customer and market sentiment at this scale, you have a serious competitive edge.
So where is all of this heading? Well, it's about more than just data points and charts. It's fundamentally changing the entire relationship between us, the customers, and these huge institutions.
What this technology really does, when you boil it all down, is transform feedback from just random noise that gets ignored into a structured, ongoing conversation. For the very first time, banks can actually listen at scale and truly hear what millions of us are saying.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question for the future, right? As this listening power gets better and better, the whole dynamic shifts. If you knew, really knew, that your bank was truly hearing every single word, what would you want to tell them?